Some interesting news came out for Lordstown. This guy on EV Resources came up with a very interesting video on Lordstown, and I'm gonna play what he had to say, and then I'll talk more about it. So we'll begin.
Okay, on to the headline story. Lordstown Motors has officially entered the history books this weekend as their race-prepped beta of the endurance pickup truck started the Score International San Felipe 250 Desert Race. Spoiler alert, they didn't finish the race, but I'll get more to that in a bit. The endurance pickup, sporting the number E414, was one of two electric trucks that entered the race this year. The other was entered by an independent team that ran a Toyota powered by the powertrain from a Nissan Leaf. Before the race, Lordstown Motors CEO Steve Burns said, quote, "We feel that it is quite significant milestone for the electric vehicle community that an electric pickup truck can compete in an environment as demanding as Baja, California. Our goal is to be the first EV to ever complete the San Felipe 250, and with superior traction, weight balance, and advanced software control of our hub motor-based endurance, we are confident that we will do just that," end quote. The daunting 250-mile race starts in San Felipe, Baja, California, and traverses terrain including sand, rock, high-elevation mountains, and low-speed ravines. Temperatures vary widely from desert heat to mountain cold, which is a challenge to batteries that are sensitive to extreme conditions. Lordstown hopes that the Baja experience will toughen the Endurance's image as it targets the commercial truck fleet market. Well, it may have toughened the image, it may not. It depends on kind of how you look at things. So here's what happened. The flags went up, the lights turned green, and the endurance pickup truck eased its way across the starting line. There has been some criticism that they didn't punch it like many of the other teams that were there, but consider for a minute why they were there. And I'll touch on this a few times, I think. Lordstown was not there to race, per se. They were there because they wanted to test the different components of the truck in an extreme climate and get feedback and data on the design and strength of the vehicle. So they did manage to travel 40 miles into the desert before, well, there are mixed reports. In fact, there were many rumors floating around. To follow the race, they had an online live tracker with basically moving vehicles on it, so you could follow along with any one of the vehicles that had entered the race. And at about the 40-mile marker, the Lordstown truck stopped. And it sat there for a while, and then it traveled over to the east to a highway and sat there for hours. They did post a few videos showing that the endurance truck was charging, but for 4 hours? I still have questions about this, and I'm not sure I'm going to get answers to it, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find the answers, although I will be looking for them. So once that seemed to be complete and back on its way, the driver piloted the endurance truck crossing over one portion of the track that they had been on, which ran north-south. So they were going from east to west, westerly direction. The track was north-south. They crossed over the track perpendicular to it and then kept going almost like they were going over across the desert towards where the 100-mile marker was, cutting the course by nearly 60 miles. And then nearing this point, the truck once again stopped, did a U-turn, and pointed itself back towards the correct portion of the track before, when they got there, turning north, which is the wrong way on the course, traveling back towards the start. And eventually the tracker of the Endurance showed that it had returned to the highway back to the east and was making its way along the highway back to the start of the race in San Felipe. Likely at that point, they had already decided to end their race weekend. And it was shortly after this that Lordstown did put out a statement on their social media accounts. They said, quote, "What a ride we have had getting to the Score International San Felipe 250. The Endurance's hub motors, battery pack, and software performed very well today, and everything we did and experienced in Mexico has provided us with valuable insights into how the Endurance's technology performed and responded to the demanding and treacherous conditions. We are stopping here and taking our incredible learnings back to Lordstown. Thank you to everyone at Lordstown Motors, our partner Brethel Industries, and Elfie Propulsion Technologies, and all of our champions. Your hard work, dedication, and passion for the Endurance is the reason we made it to Mexico, and the reason we will keep going as we continue into our beta builds ahead of start of production in September. The lessons learned in the desert will become part of the Endurance's DNA and help us to meet the rigorous performance expectations and requirements of our customers. End quote. Now, you can find any number of reasons to be critical of Lordstown Motors for their failure to finish the race. You can even make jokes about the truck needing to charge after only 40 miles, and believe me, from what I've seen, many people have. But I think that is all very short-sighted. Lordstown put the Endurance out there to do something that I don't see any other manufacturer doing, and it was a big risk. Would the story have been better if they finished? Sure, absolutely, no doubt about that. But think about the great data and experience that they've gained by even showing up. And I think there is a lot to be said for that, and they deserve credit for even trying. The next story.
So, what Lordstown could have done, in my opinion, was maybe hired a professional team or, you know, had it more planned out. But they didn't. And, you know, they failed to finish the race. But, you know, they still got valuable experience. Now they, you know, and data. And, you know, for the stock price, I really don't know. I feel like, you know, I can't imagine retail investors can be like come in at $10, but like I think I'm gonna sell my stock at $10. I think it's overvalued at $10. I really don't think so. But short sellers are going to try to take the stock down, and then there's also all these lawsuits that's putting pressure on the stock. So short term. Could the stock go down further? Absolutely. But September is coming up here very soon. And then in the summer, they're supposed to reveal the new vehicle that they've been designing that is a hybrid of a van and an RV or something like that. And that could pop the stock. So, you know, summer is in 3 months. And in 3 months, they're going to have, I don't know, maybe 20-30 beta trucks and a camping equipment. And if the stock is trading at $5 in the summer, wow, short sellers did a good job taking down the stock price. So will the stock price go down to $5? Anything's possible in the markets. Just be careful. You know, I think that, you know, what it should do is maybe stabilize at $10 for like a couple weeks. And then as more beta trucks and positive news comes out, the stock starts moving back up. But I don't think that's going to be the scenario. I think it's going to go down further. I think it's going to continue to decline. And I think we could see like it trade between $7 to $8. And then the worst case scenario, I can see it trade at around $5. $5 would make absolutely no sense because you got to think about how much money the company raised. At $5, you're talking about $800 million market cap. Basically the same amount of money that the company raised capital at, and it would be considered a penny stock, and the return on investment at $5 is ridiculous. So, I mean, will it go down to $5? It's always a possibility. Always a possibility. Just be aware of that. That's the stock market for you. But will I be loading the boat at $5? I would absolutely be loading the boat at $5. I would load up on Lordstown like no tomorrow at $5 because it's such a deal at $5. That's just my opinion. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.